So I was getting improvisation training several days a week from Storybook Playhouse, and I think I was about 10 years old, and it was great because I never knew that I'd grow up doing what I'm doing now and being heckled for a living, but I sure can think fast on my feet. And so we had acting training during the week, and then on the weekends, we were performing plays, and I was too scared to sing my solo, just like all the other boys. All the boys were afraid to sing, so we talked our solos. We were like Rex Harrison, and but it was great. It was great. I recently reconnected with one of the other kids on Facebook from that period of time, and he's like a big movie executive now. It's pretty funny, and that led to me starting to do theater in Los Angeles. I don't see us filming, and I started doing theater in Los Angeles, and I got an agent, and I started doing commercial auditions, and auditioned for like every TV show, like Barnaby Jones and Kojak and Mannix, and ended up getting a lot of work as a model. I worked doing catalog modeling, and made my parents a lot of money that supposedly I got, but I don't remember having. Just kidding, guys. They didn't really have to pay us that much, did they, as kids? But because I wasn't acting, I was really bored, and so I pursued music more, and my mom found me a piano teacher that encouraged me to write songs, and I did that through his recommendation to write jingles. He would give me products and have me write commercials for them, and that was right around the time that a friend that I went to school with, Cherie Curry, was suddenly becoming a big rock star in the Runaways, and I was closer to her sister Marie, and Marie was going to start working on a record, her own record, and she was talking to me, and she said, I'd like to hear some of your stuff. And I had written this song called City Lights, and I read her the words over the phone, and then I think I sang it at some point over the phone, and I think I sang it on like an answer machine or something. I'm not quite sure exactly what happened at this point, but out of the blue I got a call from Cherie, and for those of you who don't know, Cherie and Marie are identical twins, and they looked back then identical and sounded identical, and so whoever I was talking to, I'd have to say, who are you, which one are you? And well, Cherie called me and said, I want to talk to you about your song, and she was like, hi, this is Cherie, I want to talk to you about your song. And I go, oh, you mean Marie? And she goes, no, this is Cherie. And I go, why are you calling? And she said, well, I got a hold of your song, and I was wondering if you want the Runaways to record it. And I said, but Marie was the one who was going to work on it. And she goes, yeah, Marie's fine with it if I take it. Your song's great. And so all of a sudden, my song's going to be done by the Runaways, and I think that really validated my talent and validated my interest in what I was doing, and beat the shit out of auditioning for stupid TV shows and Disney movies that I wasn't ever going to get, because I definitely had a different vision, and to be able to create my own stuff. So I got really serious about songwriting at that point, and was writing like crazy, and then I just started doing the band thing, and I was in a band in high school, and we played the high school and caused a riot, and then I quit school because of that, and was in a series of recording projects and bands, and I played clubs as a teenager by myself, and by the time I was 17, I formed my official LA punk band called Jerry's Kids, and we were somewhat notorious. We were from LA, but we had a Huntington Beach punk draw, and they were violent and they would tear up the clubs, and we fought constantly trying to get gigs, but we were kind of a cool band. And being that there's no video and there's no recording that anybody really has hold of other than me, I could say we were great. And we were amazing. We were the best LA band of all time. And LA Weekly wrote about us, and they said that I was the best performer to come out of Los Angeles since Jim Morrison. They really wrote that. That was very sweet. That also made us very popular very fast once that happened. And we were together for a couple years, and I still talk to those guys, everyone but the drummer. So if anyone knows where John Chambers is, tell him I'm looking for him. I think I owe him a job, actually, because I quit the band because I was going to get ready to go on a very, very intense spiritual journey, and it was time for some serious life changes. All those years from the time I was 11, I started smoking pot in 11. I think we were drinking way before that. From age 11 to age 18, they were very much the years of debauchery for me. I think I left no stone unturned, I think, from being around the Runaways, and it's not the Runaways' fault. I just think that was my excuse. But that was also coinciding with the advent of punk rock and disco all at once. And so my drug awakening, my artistic awakening, my sexual awakening was all happening at the exact same time in Hollywood. And you know, the advent of punk rock, I mean, we had the Mass, the underground club, and so it was every single night from the time I was 13 till the time I was 18. Every single night of my life consisted of going out to clubs and bars and discos and dives, and every single night consisted of debauchery. It consisted of well, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And certainly by the time I was coming to know the Lord, I was very much ready to give a lot of that up. I think the sex part was the hardest, but that's probably for another time. And and the thing I remember during that whole period of time is that there were so many people, there were so many friends, you know, there were so many tribes, and everybody was part of it, so many different groups of people, and there was a lot of creativity, there was a lot of artistry. Punk rock was fun and colorful at the time. It wasn't violent and hateful, and music was really exciting. Music was new, and there was always something new happening. And I remember being at Fiorucci's in Beverly Hills for a private party for Blondie when they became huge. A friend of mine and I lied our way into that party, and being there and seeing all these people and celebrating this new music, and even that night we heard the B-52s for the first time, and I just saw that music was so exciting, and music was reaching so many people, and I wanted so much to be a part of that. But when I was in Jerry's Kids and we were a part of it, it was like it was all work and a lot of in-band fighting and a lot of politics with the other bands and a lot of politics with the venues, and not much artistry really going on. And I was really disillusioned with being in a band, and even though we were popular, I was really turned off by it.